Good evening, and welcome to the Season 2 live stream Bijou podcast redo edition. That's right, we've had some real technical difficulties and struggles, but we're ready to get it going again. So I hope you're excited too. Tonight's episode is going to be just a short little snippet. It's going to give you a few ideas about what's coming up, and I hope you'll get excited about it and join me for my live streams, which will be on Monday nights usually at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am here in California, but all are welcome around the world to participate in our new show. And the format is going to include more people and have more things for everyone to experience. So I hope you'll enjoy being a part of our show. A lot's happened lately. New website's been built for this show, and it's really exciting because all the new things that are being added to Bijou Podcast should be things that could be interesting for different people and their different interests. For example, we're going to have a book club. Book clubs used to be great when people could get together, but now it's harder to find time. The way we'll do it through our podcast is you'll be able to go to the website, join the book club, find out in advance what books will be discussed, and you'll have a chance to go to the website, not just join the book club, but also purchase the books ahead of time. So that's why it's a good idea to get on the list or get your news first by being part of the book club. You'll be able to weigh in with what you thought about the book, give answers to prompt questions, and maybe ask your own questions for other people to answer because it's a book club blog. So everyone will be able to participate. There's also something exciting coming up called Jewels of Joy. It's really the heart of what Bijou Podcast is all about. It's finding joy in the chaos. It's kind of like what's happened for me today. I had no Wi-Fi signal at my home. I do broadcast from home, and I didn't want to give up on the podcast tonight. I really wanted to relaunch it with all these new wonderful things. Let's look at this wonderful thing that has just the Season 2 written all over it.
Bijou Podcast. Life may not be perfect, but we'll try to find some fun.
So I'm really excited for the new format. We have new designs, new logo, and lots of exciting things coming. One thing I can show you for the upcoming books for the book club would be these. Just wait on getting into all these things, but I wanted to let you know about these two books now so you can get started. It's already up on the website, thebijoupodcast.com, and you would be able to get those books so you can start to read them if you haven't read them yet, or if you have, that's even better because you can already weigh in with your opinion. I'd love to get that started as soon as possible. When it comes to the next thing I wanted to show you, which is Jewels of Joy, we can think about all the wonderful things that if we look within our lives, we can find. For example, we can find jewels of joy in so many ways. It's just little tidbits, and it has a lot to do with the name of our show, Bijou Podcast. It's like a little trinket of joy that you can get from being part of the show. And jewels of joy are little things we find in our life. We look within ourselves, we find something positive, and we try to highlight that because the challenges are always there. I could have taken what happened today, not having a Wi-Fi signal at my house and finding out that no one would be available to come and help me for a week, as a huge defeat and decided that I'm just not going to do anything for my podcast. But I've worked really hard the last couple months trying to develop this show and turn it into something that can be for everyone. So for me, finding jewels of joy became very important. It's like, you know, inside us, there are these little stones, and they're buried deep inside because we have all these troubles and stresses and worries, and those things cloud the wonderful things that are also part of our lives. Over time, we might even be able to get our jewels of joy shined up from deep within. And what I mean by that is, you know, it's an exquisitely wrought trinket. It might start off rough, but over time, as we work on finding joy, finding little bits of happiness in life, then we have our jewels of joy and we can move forward. I'm going to be starting a new social media campaign where I post my jewels of joy, and I encourage you to post your jewels of joy on social media. You can simply go on Instagram or Twitter and post your own jewels of joy. Now, there are different ways you might choose to hashtag that, like Jewels of Joy or Bijou Jewels. But all I ask is that you tag us at Bijou Podcast. And that way we'll know how many of you out there are finding jewels of joy in your own way. Whether it is a funny joke that you tell, or whether it's a beautiful image of something you've seen that brings you joy. There are so many little things that if we just look within the small things around us, we can find big things to be happy about, or add up all the small things and it will turn into something big over time. But finding joy to me is a practice. It's something we have to purposely do and choose. We'll still have challenges, we'll still have rough times, but we have to decide to make the best of things or try to find something to take our mind off things. And we have to really check ourselves when it comes to worries and strife, because worries are always there. We have concern for our safety. We have concern for all the things that happen in the world, and many major things happen that are not easy or fun to deal with, but they have to be dealt with, and we have to find a way to have part of our time be positive, uplifting, enriching. So I hope we'll lift each other up over the next however long this podcast carries on. I'm looking forward to next week. We'll have the return of a guest. Michelle Corp is going to return on June 6th. June 6th next week. It's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is California time. And she'll be there with us to revisit some things. I tried to have her in the redo season 2, this is redo now. Cool, I'm not perfect at my wording, so just know that I'm a human being and I'm live streaming, so whatever I say can't be edited. Oh well. So what I wanted to say was, I had Michelle Corp on season 1 in 2019. It was a purely podcast season, no visual. This year, or this time around, I'm doing the live stream, so I'm adding a visual element. There will be more segments and more things to come for you to look at, and all these things continue to develop. I've shared only a few things with you, but I have more to reveal as time goes on. There are big things in the plans here. So I'm trying to make a difference in the world with this show, Bijou Podcast. I hope you'll check out the new website. It's called thebijoupodcast.com. That's TheBijou podcast.com. Just explore all there is to see there, and try checking out what I have on Instagram and Twitter for @BijouPodcast. And I look forward to posting my jewels of joy and seeing if you post any of your jewels of joy. And I look forward to seeing you next Monday night at 6 p.m. Thanks for listening and watching, or however you experience our show. And I look forward to building community with you, and I'll see you next time. I'm Julie Elizabeth, and I'm happy to be the host of Bijou Podcast. I hope you'll get involved. See you soon.